Hi friends, how are you all? Today I'll talk about a very interesting house in your birth chart. Yes, and that is the third house of your birth chart. What do you mean by the third house? What is the mystery behind the third house of your birth chart? All that we'll discuss, friends. It's going to be very interesting. Stay till the end. And to subscribe to this channel, share this video, press the all notification bell for all updates, and if you want consultation, my number is there in the video description. Alright, so friends, what is the third house? We all know that the third house in the birth chart is the house of your younger siblings. Yes friends, it is a house of short travels. Actually, it can show all kinds of travels. Why? Because ninth house is the house of long distance travel, and also especially when you undertake that travel, especially to go on a pilgrimage, or to go, you undertaking a travel in quest of some spiritual knowledge, or in quest of your own identity, or you undertaking that travel because you want to worship God or connect with the higher energy, higher source energy, then that sort of travel is connected to ninth house. But if you undertake a sort of travel for your own work, say you are undertaking a travel because you have a desire to undertake that travel, because that is something which is again connected to your work, and you are really making efforts, because third house is also the house of efforts. So you're making efforts and you want to travel to a certain place because you are trying to make things happen, maybe things pertaining to your business or your work, and for that you're traveling because third house in the natural zodiac is ruled by Gemini. And friends, we have to remember the trine, no? It is the Kama Trikona, or you can say the Kama trine. Kama is desire. Yes friends, so 3 7 11, so 3 is part of the Kama trine, that is what desire you have. Yes, and just 9 is directly opposite to 3. 9 is part of the Dharma trine, 1 5 9. Yes, so this Kama trine and Dharma trine, they're exactly opposite to each other. Now Kama trine is what you do for your own growth, the desire that you have. You want to fulfill that desire in this life. You have certain targets, goals, that ambition. That is the Kama trine, and third house is part of the Kama trine, and Dharma trine is your duty. So that is 1 5 9. So that is your duty, your religious duty and all that, your responsibility. That is Dharma trine. But this is what you want to do. You want that those desires should be fulfilled, and you are making efforts. On your end, you're making efforts to make those things happen, to realize those desires. That is shown. Yes, by the Kama trine, and third house definitely is part of the Kama trine, because the 3 houses which are connected to the Kama trine naturally in the natural zodiac, they are the third house, the 7th house and the 11th house. So they are all connected to the Kama trine. So third house, your effort, that is why the house of your efforts, your hard work. And friends, third house is also the house of initiation, beginning something new. That is why, friends, third house shows our hands. Yes, your hands, because whatever we try to create, for that usually we have to use our hands. Yes, it shows our efforts. Yes, whatever hard work we want to do a lot of hard work. So hard work, even courage, willpower, all these things are seen from the third house. Initiative. That is why third house signals the beginning of something new. It can also signal the beginning of new life, friends, because you see, third house is actually the beginning of new life in a way, and 8th house is actually the end of life. 8th, because third is 8th from the 8th house. So if you apply the concept of Bhavat Bhavam, so third is 8th from the 8th. So 8th house is, it can signal the end of something, or it can show a sort of transformation, or 8th house can show not just end, death, it can also show rebirth. So similarly, third house is also, because it is 8th from the 8th house. So that regeneration, rebirth, so beginning of something new, that's what we see from the third house. Now friends, third house, as I told you, no, it is connected to, because Mercury, Gemini is the sign naturally in the third house in the chart of the cosmic man. So that is why it is connected to, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, it is connected to communication, third house. So all kinds of media, communication, even online communication, internet, mobile phones, gadgets, even computers. So communication. So communication, online communication, we can see from third house, all kinds of communication, even television, all media, we can see from the third house, media, communication, that is third house. Yes friends. Then because friends, you see, second house is the house of your speech, and third house is second from the second house. That is why without speech, speech is a very powerful way of communicating, is not it? Second house is the house of speech, and third is second from the second house. So that is also the house of, in a way, speech and communication, third house, very important. And so second from the second, so it is also, you can say, the house of your family. That is why it is connected to your younger siblings. Yes, it is connected to your younger siblings. Now third house is so important, friends. It can also show the loss of your mother, because fourth house is the house of the mother, and the loss that your mother has suffered maybe in this life, that you can see from the third house. Then also friends, what you can say, that your child can be seen, especially the first child, from the fifth house. And so the third house can show the gains of your child. Yes, the gains, the desire, the ambition of your first child, that is what the third house can show. Yes, because it is 11th from the 5th house. Yes friends. All right, then it is also the house of the father-in-law. Yes, your spouse's father. Third house is your spouse's father, and so third house is the house of your father-in-law also. All right, so friends, third house is very interesting, very interesting. Third house is, directly opposite to the ninth house. That is why third house is connected to efforts. The more you make efforts, yes, the more you can be fortunate, perhaps. That is, if you make efforts, if you work hard, Saturn will improve, and Saturn will give you good results, and then you will succeed in your profession, and then definitely you will become fortunate also in turn. It will happen. So if you make efforts, only then, if you think, oh, I will, everything is already predetermined, so I will not believe in any karmas, I will not do, there is nothing called free will. If you think like that, then how can you succeed in life? Free will is very important. Yes friends, that free will, that is within our reach, so we have to take care of our actions. In Bhrigunandinari, actions or karmas, whatever is within our reach, and whatever is within your reach, that is very much shown by the third house, because third house is an upachaya house, also kama trikon house, because it shows your desires, your efforts, your hard work. Okay, even your skills, all kinds of skills, hobbies, that also we see from the third house. Whatever skills you have, whatever hobbies you have, whatever artistic talent you have, that also we can see from the third house. And that is why, and third house is the house of courage also. That is why the significator of the third house is also Mars. Mars is significator, so it can show courage, it can show your courage. And so friends, third house can also show, because Mars is the significator, it can show your courage. It can show, that is why it is connected to your younger siblings, obviously, because with your younger siblings you have blood relation. Mars is the significator of blood. And third house, because it is ruled by Mercury, because the sign of Gemini is there, so it can also show definitely the house of friends. The third house can also be the house of friends, because Mercury is there. It can also show your close friends, because second house is also the house of your family and relatives, close relatives. Third is second from the second, so it can also show your close relatives, your friends, even your close neighbors. Third house can show that. So friends, all these things. And why third house interests me so much? Because it is your efforts. And friends, you see, third house is directly, you can say it is directly opposite to the ninth house, or it is directly looking at the ninth house. Ninth house is such an auspicious house. It is the house of your fortune, the house of your duty, your luck. Yes, the house of the father. So it is your fortune, ninth house. Yes, it is your you can say your duty and fortune, your faith. Now, if you make efforts along the right direction in life, you have a certain set of skills. Okay friends, you know how to use those skills. Yes, in order to okay, you are using those skills in a proper way. Yes, so that you can maximize your gains from your profession. If you know that art of using your skills properly, yes, along a positive direction, if you are using your skills, then definitely that will enhance your fortune. Because third house is directly, it is starkly opposite. It is just directly staring at the ninth house of fortune. So that will enhance your fortune, improve your fortune. Again, ninth house is the house of faith, and third house is also the house of, you can say third house is the house of your hobbies, what you do in spare time. That is your third house. And so if you are engaging yourself in certain things which are detrimental to your spiritual growth and development, then ninth house is the house of faith. Then you will deviate from the path of faith. You may be lost in despair and darkness and disbelief. You may not follow the teachings of the Guru, that we see from the ninth house. You may not follow the teachings of your father, the teachings of your Guru. You may not follow that, because third house is your hobbies. What do you do in spare time? How are you using that time? If you're using that time, that spare time, your leisure time, in a fruitful way, yes, if you're cultivating certain good habits, if you have some hobbies which are going to help you also. Help you doesn't always mean that from your hobbies you have to earn money. But yes, if your hobbies enable you to at least, grow as an individual. Yes, maybe you like reading the scriptures. Maybe you like listening to some devotional music, or any music that gives you a sort of relaxation, that pacifies your mind, that allows you to meditate. If you have such hobbies, then that will help your spiritual growth. And then, third house is staring at the ninth house directly. It is looking at the ninth house. So you will move ahead along the spiritual path in a positive way. So friends, that is where third house is. Third house is also the house of instruction, advice, dictation. Third house. So instruction, that is, because Mercury is the lord, natural lord of the third house. It is the house of dictation, instruction. So if you have a powerful third house, that means you're able to follow instruction properly. If you have a strong third house, it means, if you have a strong third house, means you're a very good communicator. And friends, third house, instruction, dictation, advice, that also we can see from the third house. And because you also give counsel or advice to your younger siblings, you may even do that. Or even your younger siblings may, at times when you need their advice, they may give you some advice. So third house is also the house of advice, instruction. And friends, what I was about to tell you, very important, it is the house of courage, because Mars is the significator. The courage, the willpower, the enthusiasm, the zeal to begin something new, to create something on your own. Especially if the 10th Lord is in the 9th house, and the 10th Lord is, from the 9th house, if it is casting the 7th aspect on the 3rd house, that means you will do something of your own in the field of your profession. Even if you are doing some job, maybe you will have the desire to do something on your own. You will have the desire to make efforts on your own and do something in the field of your profession, and you will succeed also if you do that. So that can happen. So friends, look at all these things, which planets are looking at the third house or casting aspect on the third house, or if you have, whether if you do you have any planets present in the third house, that also. Because friends, third house is an upachaya house. Along with time you get good results from the third house. So but then third house is all about your self efforts. Yes, it is about your, it is a kama trikona house, the house of desire also. Yes, the house of desire, ambition, willpower. So there is also definitely an indication that the native is not going to listen to others. If you have very strong planets in the third house, or if you have planets in the third house, then look at the significations of those planets. Suppose you have Venus in the third house, then maybe in the matter of relationships you are not going to seek anybody's advice, because Venus is in the third house. You're not going to seek anybody's advice in that matter, in the matter of relationships, because someone has strong planets, say Mercury in the third house, and if a strong Mercury in the third house, in a way it will be good, the person will be an excellent communicator. But on the flip side, if Mercury is strongly placed in the third house, then Mercury is speech and communication. The person will communicate and talk very well, but the person will never listen to anybody, may not even listen to the advice of elders and teachers and gurus. That can happen, because Mercury is also your buddhi, as it is said in Hindi, buddhi or intelligence, your ability to reason or think, and your communication ability. Mercury is in the third house, and if in good dignity, or look at the dignity of Mercury, in whatever dignity Mercury is there is even if it is in good dignity, there is a chance that the native will communicate very well but not listen to others. That can happen. Especially the native has to listen to the native's teachers and parents and well-wishers, that the native should do. That is very important. So when Mercury is there, so the native will talk, and if in good dignity, the native will be a good communicator but may not listen to others' advice. Especially you need to listen to the advice that is given to you by your teachers and by your parents. That is so important, or by your guru. And so that is what, friends. And if Mercury is there in the third house, in whatever dignity, if it is not in good dignity, then also it is not a good thing. The native will not, there is an indication the native may not listen to others, will use his reason in his own way, and because Mercury is reasoning ability, and then that will make the native, if the native is not, Mercury is not in good dignity, then definitely the native reasoning ability also will be affected badly, and then the native will make efforts in the wrong direction. The native will not be able to use his or her skills properly, and then the native's fortune cannot be enhanced, or the native will not be able to see, will not be able to be fortunate in life then. So the door of fortune may be closed or blocked, or the wheel of fortune, it will be very difficult for the wheel of fortune to turn in his favor. So he will not be able to turn the wheel in his favor. So that, look at the planets in the third house. Then you should seek consultation from somebody who really can advise you. Yes, what remedies you should do, which planet you have. Yes, if there is moon in the third house, so moon is again a planet which shows restlessness. Yes, your efforts, your skills. Today you are interested in this, tomorrow you may be interested in something else. Today you are making efforts along a certain direction. You are making efforts in a certain area. Tomorrow you may not be interested in that anymore, because moon is again restlessness. So look at the planet which is in the third house. Yes, friends, and so friends, all these things you need to look at, and So then you will be able to understand the third house of your chart better. So friends, that's all for today. See you next time with another interesting topic. Till then, take care. Bye.